Well, we're just very, very pleased to be here tonight. UPMC Health Plan is excited to be able to be participating in the GMIS conference and a sponsor. We have I think, a great relationship history with the Middle East Institute, and I think we have been here for most of your lectures over the years, bringing in amazing people from all over the world to talk about partnership and global alliance. So UPMC's story of innovation, in my mind, fits very well with the conversation you've all had today. You know, it intersects with the Pittsburgh story of moving from the post-industrial world, where we saw a decline, certainly, to now becoming one of the incredible green hubs in the nation, and focusing on sustainability, population health. How do we really invest in our community, in the economy, and build the kind of future that we know is possible? So today, as we look across all the things that we're doing, we're very excited, particularly when, UPMC is the largest non-governmental employer in the Commonwealth, and that's really important because we can use our talent to try to make things much better in the communities we serve. We have an amazing partner in the University of Pittsburgh, which is one of the leading research institutes in the nation and has one of the best medical schools in the nation. And when you combine the power of an academic medical center like the University of Pittsburgh with the clinical delivery system of the UPMC, which is large and has the opportunity to serve people from really the time they're born till the time they are trying to end their lives peacefully and in whatever way we know we can help people do that. It's really important that you have the kind of clinical care and the investment in the community. And one of the things that we know happened during the pandemic, it really brought to the fore all the things that we know are so hard in healthcare and all the things that we know are so hard for people. We know that not everybody suffered through the pandemic equally. We know that lots of people were really victims of the kind of health inequity we see in our nation and our region. And one of the things that UPMC has done with the University of Pittsburgh, it really has been looking very systematically at how do you change the trajectory of what happens in people's lives, and how do you really focus on health equity. And one of the things that I think is so exciting about the ability to be here tonight and hear Dr. Gupta is that for those of you who haven't read his work, you really should. It's really quite wonderful. I find it inspiring. I love his new book on the brain. The brain is sort of that like outer space to most of us. You know, it's the great unknown. But we know a lot more about it than we used to. And what we know is that it really matters. And even though dementia is increasing across the world, the CDC has indicated through its studies that you could probably prevent or delay 40% of it through a certain kind of behavior, because it's not just the genes you're born with. I always say you can't pick your parents, but you can pick your behavior. And so one of the things we get to hear about tonight is how do you think about the pandemic and the impact? How do you think about the brain? How do you think about the health that you're born with that you need to protect? If you were born, if somebody said to you, you can only have one car in your life, you'd take pretty darn good care of it. You know, you wouldn't worry about the next one you're buying in 10 years. So how do we think about our bodies and our brains? And that's part of what Dr. Gupta talks about in much of the work that he does. So I'm very excited to hear from him tonight. But let me tell you a little bit about him, because he's really a very interesting person. He's a neurosurgeon who wanted to be a writer. When you think about the things that he's brought together, it's those things, right? It's the ability to communicate with people and the ability to be brilliant in terms of what you need to think about in biomedicine. He currently serves as CNN's chief medical correspondent, as well as the associate chief of neurosurgery at Grady Medical Hospital in Atlanta, and associate professor of neurosurgery at the Emory School of Medicine. Since joining CNN in 2001, so this is the you just passed your 20th anniversary, right? He has covered national and global stories, including the 2001 anthrax attacks, battlefield operations in Iraq, the impact of the 2004 tsunami in Sri Lanka, hospital operations in New Orleans after the hurricane, rollout of the healthcare.gov, and I know particularly that was very hard running a large health plan. That was a tough time. The work in Puerto Rico following the hurricane, and so many other parts of the globe where he's been on site at really particularly important times in the health of the nation. Chasing Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta reflects on the complexity of healthcare and explores how to live longer and happier lives, and has been an enormous success. He's the author of 5 books. He's a member of the National Academy of Medicine and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. And something very important about him is he hails from my alma mater, which is also my husband's alma mater, which is also my 3 grown children's alma mater, the University of Michigan, where he received his undergraduate degree in biomedical science, his MD, and his residency training in neurological surgery. Many of us know him, sort of. We feel like we know you a little bit because we watch you all the time, and we've seen you with your daughters, and we've seen you all over the world. And we've just really been grateful for the kind of sage advice and the wonderful communication that you've provided really for a very long time. So it's my real pleasure to introduce Dr. Sanjay Gupta.